Hey everyone, it's KS Bros back with episode 3 of the New York Mets franchise. In the last episode, we went up against the Baltimore Orioles, defeating them in our final spring season game. Matt had a rough outing, but our offense definitely picked him up, scoring 13 runs. Overall, we had a very strong spring, and now we're going to look at our players, see how they performed. Starting with Brandon Nimmo, his average wasn't where we would like it to be at 230, but he did show some power of 4 home runs and 9 runs batted in. Looking at his walks, he did draw 15 walks, which he is known for, having a good eye at the plate. So it's good to see that. Good to see that on-base percentage somewhat high considering his average. Then we got McNeil, Squirrel, having his good average, 303, to go along with 6 home runs. Pete Alonso has a strong average at 350, also showing some power with the 5 home runs. We got Robbie Cano, his average in the 230s. Hopefully he can get going in the season. And then J.D. Davis, who is in a positional battle with Dom Smith for that left field position. He is batting 330. He had himself a great spring, adding in 4 home runs. And then our everyday right fielder, Conforto, having a strong spring as well. Ramos doing what he does, a high average, a good hitter. And then Rosario also having a good spring. This is going to be a big season for him to show that he is our everyday shortstop in the present and in the future. He needs to work on his defense, needs to work on his plate discipline. And then we got Marisnick, the center fielder from the Astros, replacing our defensive specialist, Juan Lagares. Then we got Dom, who we mentioned, battling with JD for that left field spot. He did not have himself a good spring, batting barely 200. So we'll see if he needs to start AAA or if he should remain on the bench. And then we got Cespedes coming back from his bore injuries. And then we got Jimenez, one of our top prospects. Now looking at our pitching, DeGrom played amazing. Stroman in his walk year had a strong spring. Our lefty Mats, 3-0, but he had a 5 ERA. A lot of that was due to the last game, getting beat up by the Orioles. Porcello, who is battling for that 5th spot in the rotation, had a great spring. Familia, looking for a bounce-back year, did well in the spring. Gazelman did well. Going down to Syndergaard, he got beat up a bit, but hopefully he can rebound when the season starts. Diaz played great, 7 saves, a 2 ERA. That is a great sign for Mets fans and for the team moving into the season. And then rounding out our bullpen, we got Brad Brock, Justin Wilson, both relievers from last season. We got Waka, who can compete for the rotation, and he could also be a long man out of the bullpen. We got Kilame, who was acquired in the Asdrubal Cabrera deal with the Phillies. He'll be in AAA to start the year. And looking at a bit of our depth here in the organization. Like I said, we have to figure out what we're doing with Dom. He might be in AAA to start the year just to get him some at-bats. He still does have good potential. Looking at our prospects, we got Brett Batty there, our first-round pick from the last year's draft. High potential, only 20 years old. We got Jimenez, who I mentioned, and then our top prospect, Mauricio, another shortstop. Looks like he's going to be a stud at only 18 years old. I'm thinking once Cano gets older, he retires, Jimenez or Mauricio and Rosario, they'll probably man down the middle infield spots. We'll see who progresses the best out of that group. And then for our pitchers, our top prospect for pitchers is definitely David Peterson, who will keep in Double-A for now, but he's definitely on the rise with A potential as well. Besides him, a lot of our other prospects were traded. Anthony Kay went to the Blue Jays for Stroman. Now looking at our lineups, we're going to bat Nimmo in the number 1 spot, similar to how the Mets played last year when Nimmo was healthy, with McNeil, arguably our best hitter, in the number 2 spot, followed by Alonso and Cano. And we did give the left field spot to J.D. Davis, and we're going to put Smith in AAA to start the season. So we'll see how that works out. And we're going to put Rosario in the 8th spot. In terms of our DH and lefty versus righty, there aren't much changes to the lineup. I think for the most part, most of our lefties can do decent against southpaws, and most of our righties play pretty well or bat pretty well against righties as well. And now going into our rotation, Porcello is going to win that 5th spot over Michael Wacha, pushing Wacha to the bullpen in a long reliever role. Diaz is going to get the closing pitching role. And now into the action. Opening day against the Washington Nationals, World Series winner from the previous season. It's a game that I was looking forward to watching live. Unfortunately, the season is suspended for the time being. But we're here at Citi Field in front of the home faithful. We got DeGrom, the Cy Young winner, going to go up against Scherzer, who has a few Cy Youngs himself.
Welcome to our special opening day broadcast on MLB Network. I'm joined by Dan Plesac, and Dan, as we get things going this season, it's pitching that has to be key if this team's going to have success.
Hey, just like any team, pitching is going to be the key factor for this ball club as the year plays out. I'm sure the staff will have its ups and downs.
DeGrom is warming up, getting his mind right. We got Scherzer with his 5-pitch repertoire to go along with his 2 colored eyes. And here we go.
Temperatures should get us up into the 70s as we move along. 68.
So DeGrom is facing Trey Turner. His first bat of the year. He gets Turner to pop up on a high and in fastball. Now going against Soto. And Sano is able to beat that one out to get the first base. Now Eric Thames up to bat. The lefty slugger who played for Milwaukee for a couple seasons. DeGrom gets him, and that retires the top of the first.
Max Scherzer is on the mound for the season opener. Here now the 2-2.
Nimmo in that leadoff spot, and he swings over 85-mile-per-hour slider. Now Pete in the 3 spot. He's able to lay off the low fastball and draw the walk. And Conforto with 2 on, 2 out. And he's behind that fastball, ending the first inning. Here in the top of the second, one guy on, 2 out. DeGrom against Zimmerman. The changeup is just low, and now the Nationals have the guy in first and second. Luckily, with the pitcher spot up, DeGrom gets a pop-up to end the inning. Now here in the top of the third, DeGrom going up against Soto for his second at-bat. Rosario makes a nice play, and the double play is made. Now here in the top of the fourth, as the offenses are still at 0-0, Thames gets a fastball up and away, and he drives it to left field, giving the Nationals a 1-0 lead. Now, still in the fourth, a guy on second. Zimmerman is up to bat in an 0-2 count. And DeGrom paints the corner, getting the called strike. Now here, top of the fifth, Trey Turner with 1 out gets a ball in the middle of the plate, and he drives it to left center field, giving the Nationals a 2-0 lead. And now in the third, Thames gets another one to drive, getting it just within the foul pole, hitting it over that short porch in right field. 3 solo home runs, a 3-0 lead for the Nationals. Now here in the sixth, Mets offense still looking for a little life. McNeil draws the leadoff walk, and Pete comes up to bat. He gets a hanger, and he drives it into the Mets crowd as the lead is cut to 1. In the same inning, Conforto's up to bat, 2-2 count. Gets a hanging slider, and he drives it into the right field gap, giving him a stand-up double. Now JD grounds one to first, moving Conforto up to third. Ramos 2-0 count. Gets a hittable slider, and it just clears the right field ball going into the bullpen, giving the Mets a 4-3 lead. In the blink of an eye, it went from 3-0 to 4-3 Mets. Now DeGrom, with the lead, strikes out Zimmerman for the third time. And he gets Turner to ground out into a double play, ending his day on a high note. Top of the seventh, looking to add on an insurance run. McNeil flies out to left, ending the inning. Now with Justin Wilson on in relief, and Thames again with his third home run of the game, putting the Nats back on top. Now here in the bottom of the ninth, Mets fans holding out hope for the late rally. Ramos up with 1 out. He grounds it to Doolittle, who throws him out. Rosario 2-2 count. And he flies out to shallow right field. And the Nationals win on opening day. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, thank you.